Hello, victim of thought group. It's Jill here. I thought I'd do a quick video about trying to be present and how it's an oxymoron. Christian posted something about his observing his thoughts and trying to be present and some other stuff. So I thought that would be a good opportunity to talk about this presence, being present. In general, because that is our goal in a way, because being present means that we're not paying attention to our thinking, we're not or not thinking, or I guess it could be either of those. I don't think we can stop our thoughts, so it's a question of just being in the flow. But of course, the paradox as usual with this understanding is trying to do it is the opposite of it. Trying to do something creates more thoughts about it. So trying to be present is an oxymoron, because it's impossible. The more you try, the less present you are. You're creating thoughts about being present. How can I be present? and all those thoughts go on top of your presence. So it's like, I noticed this a lot, and I've talked about tennis before, but tennis is the one thing where I really see this clearly, because I can be playing tennis perfectly fine and doing, you almost feel like a pro, like when you're in the flow. I'm sure if I played somebody good, I would not feel like a pro. I probably have lots of thoughts about it too, and then I would play even worse, but that's another story. When I play tennis though, and I am in the flow, I'm not thinking at all. I am totally just doing, the ball just comes and I react, I jump, I do all kinds of cool, crazy moves, but it's absolutely not thinking. Like as soon as I start to think about it, and sometimes I do, because I'll be like, oh, wow, cool, I'm doing so well, maybe I could do even better. So I start to think about it. Maybe I can jump here or hold my racket this way or do whatever. And it's every single time, the slightest, teeniest thought, because I do observe my mind just naturally. But I can tell the tiniest little thought about me trying to place the ball in a certain area or whatever, or hit the ball a certain way. Nope, it's worse. And yet, if I just let myself play, then it's usually better. I mean, I'm not going to be perfect, of course, and I can't hit every ball, but I do better if I am completely present and completely in the flow. And that's the easiest way to think about it, is when you're doing something like that, a sport or something. But also just anything. Like, have you ever, I've done this before, where like I'm driving, right? And I have a manual transmission, so it's even more to do. I mean, if the slightest bit even think about my driving, like which gear to put it in or anything like that, again, I mess up. I mess up. I'll put it in first instead of third or something like that. Like, it's so funny. But if I just go with the flow and just drive, and of course I don't have to think about it because I've been doing it for years. So let me talk about that for a second, because that's what we call, I've heard George Prinsky talk about this, and he called it the learning curve. And so for anything like new that we're going to do, say you're a new driver, of course you have to kind of think about it then, because you're just learning. I got to do this. I got to, step on the brake with this foot and step on the gas and, do this and that. So we sort of think about it at first, and we're not very good at it at first, probably partially because we are thinking about it and we just don't know what to do. But the more we drive, and it doesn't take that long, the better we get at it. We stop having to think about it. It becomes part of us. I mean, I remember when my son first told me, after he had been driving for a certain amount of time, he said that I finally am at the point where I feel like I'm part of the car. And that's exactly what it is. I love that description, because you're just moving with the car, like skiing. You're just kind of moving with the slopes. Or if you've ever played any of those, my kids had the Nintendo with the Wii, like Wii Fit and stuff. And there was this cool game in Wii Fit that was like a marble maze thing, and you're standing on the thing, and you have to move the maze to make the marble go through the thing, and you literally have to become the maze, like, because your movements make it go. And if you think about it, boom, the marble's gonna fall in the hole, like you're trying to avoid it's a labyrinth kind of game. And as soon as a thought pops in, oh, I gotta turn this way, oh, you blow it. And this is what life is supposed to be like. We're supposed to be able to go through life just going with the flow, not trying to be present, because you can't, because then that means thoughts come in. It's just so funny because it's so opposite. But you know it, right? You know it when you're in the flow, and you know it when you're out of it. And it's the same with conversations with people. Like if you become anxious, that means you're having lots and lots of thoughts. So if you're with another person and you're becoming anxious about, say they're in a bad mood or angry, and you start to get anxious, which was my MO and still is to a certain extent, I find myself now sitting with, say, talking with a person, and if I'm become anxious, I can notice all the thoughts appearing. What should I say? Like always trying to make the person not anxious anymore, or not mad or whatever, not in a bad mood, trying to make them feel better. So all these thoughts go through my head about what to say. I'll say, maybe if I say that, it's not that conscious, it's happening unconsciously, but because I do pay attention, I sort of notice it. And so I'll be sort of like, say this. It happens instantaneously. It's not like I have this conversation in my head. It's very quick. A thought comes to me to say, and then I say it, as opposed to, this is the difference, as opposed to me just talking before a thought comes, just saying what naturally comes to mind. There's this split second difference. If the thought comes first, say this, it's not right. And the other person can feel it. It's amazing. They pick up on the fakeness of it. They pick up on that it's coming from thought, not from presence, not from true love, not from that space. If you ever can observe this in yourself, it's really amazing, because people pick up on that presence. If you really are present and just saying what comes to mind, like I'm doing now. As soon as if I start to think about what I'm going to say, and the thought appears first, I'm going to start stumbling over my words. But if I'm just letting flow whatever's coming from me without thinking about it first, it's coming from that space within. And it's a difference, because people can feel it. People can see the difference. And that's why people love, authentic people, because they're coming from that space within. It's why also you can tell the difference, like between me doing something like this off the cuff. That's just, I had the idea of what I wanted to talk about, but no idea what I would say. And I'm saying it off the cuff. And it's a subject I understand well. So it's that learning curve. So I'm at this point in my life able to talk about it without stumbling too much. Whereas if I tried to do this 3 years ago, I'd have a lot more thinking on my mind, and I'd be stumbling more. But it's the difference between that and, say, if I read off one of my blog posts that I wrote. Now, when I write them, they come out of me through presence. They're not me. So in that respect, I think people can connect with that and feel that wisdom come out of them. But as I read them, if you listen to my audios, it's a different feel to me reading something than me talking off the cuff. It sounds contrived, and I hear that with other people like Michael Neal. When he's just talking off the cuff, it's amazing. But if he's reading like a blog post, it's just like, he's reading a blog post. It doesn't have the same quality. And it's just because where you're coming from. So now, of course, you're all going to be like, well, okay, so how do I be more present? Can't help you there, unfortunately, because it's the oxymoron of life. So it's a, I don't know what it is. It's I want to say a practice, but that's not the right word, because that's a doing. But it's I guess the less you have on your mind in general, the clearer your head is in general. The fewer thoughts that you have going on, the easier you just then become more present, because you're not having a buzzing of thoughts in there. But even if you are, I mean, even if I have to say I'm doing a public speaking thing that I'm nervous about, there's a lot going on in my head, but I'm still able to just kind of put that to the side most of the time and just be present. Anyway, I think I've said all that can be said on this topic. I hope it makes sense. And I would love to hear your comments and questions. There was a couple people in here, but I don't see them, but whatever. I figure everyone can watch it, the rerun. So I will you guys all have a good weekend, and I will talk to you again next week.